Have you ever been called shy or introverted, but felt like neither label quite fit? It's not that you're afraid of people, it's that you often find them inefficient. What if that quietness people see isn't weakness, but a sign of intense self-reliant strength? What if your need for solitude isn't just about recharging, but about refusing to hit the brakes for a world that can't keep up? Today, we're exploring the 7 signs that you might be a Sigma, a modern personality archetype for the lone wolf who walks their own path. While the term Sigma comes from internet culture, not a psychology textbook, it powerfully describes a certain kind of independent person. So, let's break down the traits that separate the quietly confident Sigma from the shy or the classic introvert. You might just find the validation you've been looking for. First, let's get to the core of it. Why do you spend time alone? A classic introvert often withdraws because social interactions, even good ones, drain their energy. Solitude is a recovery process to get back to neutral. A shy person might seek solitude out of social anxiety or a fear of being judged. For them, being alone is a safe harbor. But for the Sigma, solitude is the command center. You don't see social life as just draining. You see most of it as a waste of your most valuable asset, time. The repetitive small talk and shallow energy feel like a pointless distraction. It's not that people are tiring you out, it's that they're boring you. Your mind is wired to build, create, and strategize. When you're alone, your focus sharpens, and you get things done without the friction of group dynamics. It's not about healing, it's about building. An introvert pulls back because the social world is too demanding. A Sigma pulls back because the world isn't demanding enough of their intellect. If you step away from the crowd to build your own world, not just to recover from it, you're operating on that Sigma frequency. Do people say you're hard to read? Maybe even a little intimidatingly private. That elusiveness is a key marker that separates a Sigma from someone who is simply shy. A shy person's withdrawal often comes from discomfort. They hold back because they're afraid of saying the wrong thing or being judged. Their silence is an anxious defense mechanism. Deep down, they might want to connect, but insecurity is holding them hostage. A Sigma, however, is mysterious on purpose. It's a strategy, not a symptom. You don't do small talk because you see it as a meaningless script. You value real substance. So why talk about the weather when you could be deconstructing a complex idea in your head? This choice not to overshare creates an aura of mystery that people find intriguing. You don't broadcast your life for validation. While others perform for a digital audience, you're quietly living. This makes you an incredible observer. While everyone else is talking, you're watching, analyzing, and sensing the subtle power shifts in the room that no one else notices. Your silence isn't empty, it's filled with data. You're hard to know because you believe being truly known is a privilege reserved for the very few who can appreciate what's behind the silence. One of the most defining Sigma traits is a complete disinterest in the usual social games. Alpha, Beta, Omega. These labels are just noise to you. You see the desperate climb for status, the office politics, and the popularity contests, and you simply choose not to play. Someone shy might feel stuck at the bottom of the social ladder, conforming to the group to avoid being singled out. For them, following feels safer than standing alone. The Sigma, in contrast, operates completely off the grid. You're the classic lone wolf, not because the pack exiled you, but because you chose to leave. You don't want to lead, but you will absolutely never follow. Your compass is internal. You are your own authority, and you don't need a fancy title or a cheering section to know your worth. This makes you a true nonconformist. You question rules that don't make sense and see the desperate need for belonging in others as a kind of trap. Why do people chase trends they hate or seek approval from people they don't even respect? To you, it's illogical. You'd rather be respected for your authenticity by one person than liked for your conformity by a crowd. You can move through social hierarchies when needed, like a chameleon, but you never truly belong to them. If you look at the social ladder and your only impulse is to walk away, that's the independent mindset of a Sigma. We often mistake confidence for being the loudest person in the room, the alpha who commands attention. But there's another kind of power, a quiet, unshakable self-assurance that doesn't need to announce itself. This is the Sigma's territory. A shy person often struggles with outward confidence even if they're brilliant. Their quietness comes from a place of uncertainty. A Sigma's quietness, however, comes from a place of certainty. You know who you are and what you believe. You don't need to shout because you have nothing to prove. Your validation comes from within. Because of this, you can take praise and criticism with the same calm neutrality. Neither inflates your ego nor breaks your spirit. This quiet confidence can be magnetic. While you don't chase the spotlight, it often finds you. People are drawn to your composed energy. When you do decide to speak, your words have weight because they're thoughtful and direct. You're a listener first, contributing only when you have something meaningful to add. Unlike an alpha who leads with force, you influence through quiet competence and earned respect. You're not afraid of the spotlight, you just don't see the point in standing in it. In a world running on viral trends and superficial interactions, the Sigma often feels like a visitor from another planet. Your brain is wired for depth, and you have a very low tolerance for anything shallow. Many people can put up with superficiality to fit in. A shy person might endure small talk because the silence feels even more terrifying. But for a Sigma, shallowness isn't just boring, it's a profound waste of mental energy. You actively dislike groupthink, vapid conversations, and anything that skims the surface. This is why you often prefer being alone. The quality of your own thoughts is far more stimulating. Because of this, your relationships are about quality, not quantity. You'd rather have 1 or 2 deep connections built on mutual respect than 100 acquaintances. You look for authenticity in others and can spot a fake from a mile away. This isn't arrogance, it's a filtering system. Your time is too valuable to spend on anything that isn't real. This attitude extends to your life. You value function over flash. Brand names and status symbols don't impress you. If you're constantly repelled by superficiality and drawn to substance, that's a powerful sign of the Sigma mindset. The idea of dominance usually brings to mind the alpha, loud, assertive, and taking charge with direct force. The Sigma archetype has a different kind of power, one that's more subtle and often more effective: strategic influence. A shy person typically avoids confrontation and responsibility, preferring to follow along to keep the peace. Their goal is to minimize their presence, not assert it. The Sigma isn't passive, they're just strategic. You know that true power isn't about being the loudest voice, but about understanding the room better than anyone else. Your quiet observation is your primary tool. While others are posturing, you're analyzing the dynamics, figuring out motivations, and mapping out the best move. You influence outcomes through precision, not aggression. You might plant an idea in a conversation and let someone else run with it, or make one perfectly timed comment that shifts the group's direction. You often get what you want without anyone realizing you were pulling the strings until much later. According to the archetype, you led from the shadows, not the podium. People listen to you not because you demand it, but because they've learned your words have purpose. The final sign is in how you present yourself to the world. Your style is a direct reflection of your inner philosophy: function over form, authenticity over trends. Someone who is shy or insecure might dress to blend in, using conformity as camouflage. Their style is dictated by a desire not to be noticed. A Sigma's style is dictated by pure practicality and self-expression, with little concern for outside opinions. You don't dress to impress, you dress for yourself. You're a nonconformist, not as an act of rebellion, but simply as a default state. Trends come and go, but you stick to what's functional, comfortable, and timeless. You might have a minimalist wardrobe, not to make a statement, but because you see no logical reason for excess. This non-conformity shows up everywhere. The music you listen to, the books you read, the hobbies you pursue. You follow your own interests with a quiet intensity, whether they're popular or not. You aren't trying to be different, you just are, and you're at peace with it. If your choices reflect your own independent mind rather than societal expectations, it's a clear sign you're a true Sigma. If these signs hit home, let us know in the comments which ones you identified with. Sharing your experience helps others feel seen and understood. And if you want to keep exploring personality and self-mastery, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that honors the path of the lone wolf. Ultimately, seeing yourself as a Sigma isn't about collecting a trendy label. It's about giving a name to who you've always been. It's the realization that your quiet nature isn't a weakness, but a strategic advantage. Your independence isn't a flaw, it's your greatest strength. You're not antisocial, you're selectively social. You're not a follower, you operate outside the very game of follow the leader. The Sigma doesn't need to be part of the pack because they are their own ecosystem. You are the lone wolf, not out of loneliness but out of profound self-sufficiency. It's a path few can walk, but for those who do, it offers true freedom and authenticity. Embrace it. Your silence is not emptiness, it's power in reserve.